Sonic the Hedgehog, a cultural phenomenon. Sonic has been around for like 25 years plus. That's over a quarter of a century. Wait a minute. Before we continue, I cut it off right there. How old is Sonic this year? Damn, he's 35 this year? I guess you could say he's crushing in his 30s.
You're cringe.
Okay, yeah, that was bad. I know. He's got comics, books, games, animated TV shows, and damn, bro's even in the box office now? He's got 3 movies with the 4th one on the way. Speaking of the 4th one, I mean, hey man, the first 3 are looking phenomenal. Now, if we know anything about number 4 for Sonic, let's hope it doesn't go down that road, but I have a feeling it's gonna be great. Worries aside, how did I first discover Sonic? Well, I'm gonna put it on screen right now because I'm probably yapping in the video, so let me just voice over it. This is the Falcon PlayStation, or the Falcon console. I don't know if anybody knows what this is. I don't know if anybody owned one. Let me know if you did. But this was like being sold at those secondhand game stores, or you know with those stores that sell the secondhand consoles. That's where I first discovered Sonic. Why? Well, on the right, with the 53 game cartridge, I played the one, the only, the OG, the one that started it all, Sonic the Hedgehog 1. And it just went from there. And then on the left is the 18-bit game cartridge, and that's where I discovered Sonic 3D Flicky's Island. And I gotta say, that was quite an interesting dynamic, going into 2D, but then also 3D. But Sonic 1 I ultimately enjoyed, and the rest is history. At some point in time, I just remember shopping in England, and I just came across, that's right, Sonic Mega Collection Plus. That's right, Plus. But, you know, it was for the PC, and I couldn't get it, and since it's like across the country, I don't know if it would work on PC, because, you know, regional settings, and, you know, it was a depressing time. But lucky for your boy, later in like, I don't know, a few years later, remember Toys R Us? That's right, the nostalgia time, the one and only, like, remember the game section of Toys R Us? They had everything, man. It was just fire. And what did I find at Toys R Us? Sonic Mega Collection Plus. That's right, Plus once again, except it was for the PlayStation 2, and I could finally buy it. I was so happy, man. There I got to re-experience Sonic 1 for the first time, and then experience Sonic 2 for the first time, and then Sonic 3, and then Sonic and Knuckles, and then Sonic 3 and Knuckles, and then Knuckles and Sonic 2. I didn't have the Sega Genesis, so I couldn't do the whole cool lock-on technology where you combine the cartridges and get the 2-in-1 game. And you know, after Sonic 3 and Knuckles, your boy found Hypersonic, and then that's when I just had to do the videos. So if you're interested, let me know. Go check them out. There might be a Frontiers in the future, but you never know. Anyways, in today's day and age, we officially have Sonic Frontiers and Superstars as the mainline releases so far. Now, Sonic games have had their ups and downs, but that's a story for another day, because woo, we don't talk about forces, man. Anyways, all jokes aside, despite Sonic having a ton of games, he also had a variety of TV shows, so let's check them out. Triplets born, the throne awaits. That's right, Sonic Underground. What an interesting show that this was. Sonic Underground's first episode aired on the 6th of January 1999, and its final episode on May 23rd, 1999. Meaning it only ran for a total of 5 months with a total of, oh wow, 40 episodes! Unfortunately never reaching its conclusion. The show follows Sonic with his half-sister and brother. Yeah, so Sonic has a mom in this now, and he's got siblings in this timeline? Hey man, I don't make the rules. Now, Sonic's mother, Queen Alina, gives up her 3 kids, Sonic, Manic or Manny, and Sonia, to 3 different families and runs off in order to fulfill the prophecy in the hopes it would come true. Wow.
I long for my children, but I have to wait. To act too soon could seal their fate.
So basically, she's running away from her kids until the prophecy comes true. This so-called prophecy was basically a gamble, hoping her 3 kids would conveniently come together, rise up against Robotnik, and save Mobius. Was quite a bold move, and it easily could have gone wrong and easily could have ended the prophecy. Because, you know, first of all, Sonic got a okay life with his parents. Sonia got a real nice life. And this is where the prophecy, it almost gets destroyed. Manny was supposed to go to a nice family, but I don't know why Queen Alina didn't like hide behind some trash cans or something just to make sure everything was great. But, or make sure her kids were successfully taken. But Manny gets taken by whatever the hell this rat looking thing is. And then he gets raised by this cockroach looking guy. So he basically ended up becoming like this criminal. So that was basically the first sign that the prophecy was this close to ending. So yeah, I don't know why that lady answered the door so late. Maybe she was cooking and cleaning, I don't know. Maybe people in the 80s didn't answer their doors on time. But that was a very close call for the prophecy to end. So yeah, and that's just basically it. The premises just follows Sonic and his siblings fighting Robotnik and just searching for their mother. Knuckles makes an appearance, which was pretty cool, with one of my favorite songs being No One is an Island. So that's where Knuckles made his appearance. And my all-time favorite, don't at me unless you've got your own favorite or you think there's one that's better, Sound of Freedom, best Sonic Underground song ever. And speaking of music, their instruments could be used as weapons. Yeah, man, that's pretty much it. Unfortunately, like I said, the show didn't finish due to its popularity. So, meaning Sonic, Sonia, and Manny never found their mother, which is quite depressing to say the least, but you know what? I speak about the prophecy, and as she mentioned now, she doesn't want to run into her kids because the prophecy might not come true. But then there's been multiple times, okay, I said I wouldn't get into it, but I'm gonna have to investigate this lady. I said I wouldn't get into it, but let's look into some of the times where Queen Alina almost broke the prophecy or should have just ended it, because I know I wouldn't get into it, but let's investigate Queen Alina. Oh my goodness, we're really going into this right now. Let's do this. As well as other times where she was just close to her kids as well, or just made that appearance, or she was like inches away, but yeah, let's get into it. As Queen Alina's kids are seen performing at the underground masquerade, they ask each other if there's any sign of their mother. Not yet, they say. Anyways, mid-song, she's right there. Like, why didn't you go up on stage and say hi or something? And yes, that is her. There's no mistaking her. She's got the cloak, she's got the color, so we know it's her. I know she was there watching them from a distance and she was like, they were performing. But it's like, as I say, man, and I'll probably say this at the end of all these examples, you can't really keep it up forever because sooner or later you're gonna break the prophecy. And for me, if you were to meet up with your kids sooner, you would be so happy because, like, you'd get to meet them again, they'd get to meet you, and even if they meet you, it doesn't really end the prophecy. It kind of just motivates them to keep going and save Mobius. But yeah, man, we're kicking it off okay for now. Exhibit A. So let's get into Exhibit B. False alarm, she's not there, my bad. Now, she doesn't make an appearance in this episode, but this is why I'm counting it. In this episode, Sonia has her first debutante ball, where her mother sends her a necklace later that night with a letter stating,
I wore this at my debutante ball. I'm so proud of you, love, Mother.
Now keep in mind, the debutante ball just happened a few hours ago, which which means she had to have been in the crowd, or she was watching from a distance or something. Like, it's crazy, man. Like, I can't believe it right now. Because she even said it herself. She wore it at her debutante ball. The same necklace she wore at her own debutante ball. Like, it's a tradition or something. It basically is, but you know what I mean. So, she definitely was there, or she was watching from a distance. And even if she caught word about it, how do you even know Sonia was the main lady there? Or, like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you know? So I'm counting it as Exhibit B, even though she wasn't there. Because, come on, man, you're literally quoting events that just happened a few hours ago. So, Exhibit B. Okay, Exhibit C. So, Sonic is running while he's carrying Sonia and Manny. And all of a sudden, Sonia just hears their mother's voice. I'm surprised that Sonic didn't hear. Then again, he's running so fast, and same goes for Manny. But he also shouldn't have been able to hear because they were running so fast. Anyways, you know, Sonic just stops abruptly because Sonia tells him to stop.
My children.
Sonic, stop!
And then, like a ghost out of nowhere, she appears. But yes, it's like she gives a very heartfelt message, and it's very cool. But I'm like, how long can you keep this up? Because it's just been, because sooner or later, something's either gonna go wrong, or you're just gonna break the prophecy. Because once again, I'm pretty sure if you just met up with your kids, you give them some more motivation. But that was just one of them, because yes, you didn't see them in person. But yeah, man, and let's just go into Exhibit D, and that'll be the last one, because otherwise we would be here the whole day. Okay, Exhibit D is where it all goes down. In this episode, of course, same premises, they're looking for their mother. Sonia goes missing, because like they were exploring a building, she goes missing, and then Manny and Sonic run into this rat-looking guy, and he says, oh, Sonia went into the mirror. Sonic sets a timer for 30 minutes and says the dingo dude and the other guy will be here in like 30 minutes. So Sonic decides to go into the mirror dimension to look for Sonia. Then they see a reflection of their mother, which is like a few meters away from them, and Sonic runs to her and then gets yeeted back. Because, you know, Sonia's like, wait a minute, this isn't the same, this is a dimension. Anyways, that was another time where she was basically in the dimension with them. They just couldn't reach her. Now, 30 minutes basically goes by. Manny, for whatever reason, just decided to sleep, even though he should have been keeping watch of Dingo and the other dude, the rat guy. So, because he was sleeping, oh my goodness, in 4K, out walks Queen Alina. Walks up to him in 4K and touches his face and says, I love you, my dear child. The mirror is the way out, remember.
I love you, my little Manic. The mirror is your way out. Remember, the mirror.
Now, she was cutting it very close here, and I mean very close, like a second later, and the prophecy would have ended. Because it was literally a split second when the mom entered the mirror and the others exited it, so it was like seconds away. 30 minutes went by, dude was sleeping in a chair, and then his mom walked out, and I'm like, dude, like, just like hearing your mother's voice, you didn't wake up and didn't respond like you were in a coma or something. And then the moment she left the room, Manny wakes up, and a second later, Sonic and Sonia come out of the mirror. But I'm like, she just left a few seconds ago, and as she kind of just left, they both came out of the mirror. So they were literally inches away for all three of them to be in the same damn room. Yo, that was, like, I gotta say, man, Queen Alina's got some balls, man. She was this close to ending the prophecy. But that was the craziest time. And then, you know, the rat-looking guy knows more than what he's letting on. And then, you know, at the end of the episode, she's just kind of standing behind a rock while she explains everything. Knuckles did also have a bit of a thing as well, where he said, oh, I know your mom, and then has the inscription on the whatever rock. Doesn't matter. But Exhibit D was the craziest, because they were so close to either all being in the same room or crossing paths. I'm very surprised, because a few seconds later, Sonic and Sonia come through the portal, but then the mom left, so man, she was cutting it very close there. But yeah, man, that was Exhibit D, cutting it close. Again, I really wish they got to meet. But yeah, man, that was just, jokes aside, that was Sonic Underground. Yeah, man. Anyways, all jokes and skeptical criticism aside with Alina, Sonic Underground was a pretty interesting show. I mean, it had its ups and downs, but it had a cool premise as if it actually finished. I mean, yes, like I mentioned Dingo, and there are other characters in Robotnik, but, a lot of other things do happen throughout the story, and more characters get introduced, and more songs are played. Yeah, but that's a story for another day. Unfortunately, as I previously mentioned, Sonic Underground never really reached its conclusion. But that doesn't matter. We have the comics, we have the fans, and they got their happy ending. Yes, they got the Chaos Emeralds, they got their super forms, and they played music for the whole of Mobius and the super forms, that's right. And yes, they did get to meet their mother in the end, and they reunited with their mom, that's right. There's always a happy ending, and that was Sonic Underground, the end. The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog. Yeah, so the next show, The Adventures of Sonic the Hedgehog, I don't really remember or know too much about it, other than I remember it featuring Tails. It wasn't really my favorite Sonic cartoon, and I didn't really watch it all too often. But it was cool because it featured Tails, and I'd say my favorite episode from this Sonic series in specific would probably be the Christmas episode. Sonic runs around the world, gives everyone their gifts, stops Robotnik. It was pretty iconic, and watching it on the holiday season as well was always the best. Probably my favorite episode of this entire show. I then went back and watched a few episodes, and I just, found one where Tails is just a girl for whatever reason. I don't know, I just found it like this. Anyways, Dr. Robotnik makes his return with the debut of the Batniks. Other than that, the show aired on September 6th, 1993 to December 3rd, 1993, running for a total of 3 months, which was way shorter than Underground, but then again, Underground focused on more of an episodic structure, to where Adventures had mostly fillers and, I don't know, just goofiness. I don't know what else to say, man. Not my favorite Sonic show, it was alright, but it was one I can surprisingly remember. Probably because of the Christmas episode. Oh yeah, and Sally from the Freedom Fighters makes an appearance, so that was pretty cool to see.
Mistletoe.
Oh man, Antoine's not gonna like that. Oh boy, Sonic X. Back when having an X next to your name used to mean something cool.
Oh no!
Sonic X was amazing. From what I remember, I just loved Sonic X being my favorite Sonic show of all time. For now, it had characters from the games, continuity from the games, the Chaos Emeralds, and had Sonic an award where he existed with the humans to team up against Robotnik. It's almost like I've seen this somewhere before. Man, Sonic X was ahead of his time, man. Hey, he predicted the movies, man. Sonic X aired from April 6th, 2003 to April 18th, 2005, with a whole 2 seasons running for 2 whole years. Damn, that's the longest running Sonic show by far. So, yeah man, Sonic X follows Sonic and his friends into the human world where he must find the Chaos Emeralds and stop Dr. Eggman before he finds them and return back to his planet. They run into a boy named Chris, they basically team up, stop Eggman. That's right, we're in the Eggman name now. And I think I just love this show so much specifically and remember it being my favorite because it introduced, as I said, characters primarily from the games like Sonic DX, Adventure, Heroes, featuring basically the whole cast, and that's what made it so memorable for me as a kid. I first watched it back in 2014, damn. Wow, it's been 12 years? Wow, and I just remember really loving it. Overall, it was an amazing Sonic show, and it had so many cool moments and so many relationships, like the relationship between Shadow and Maria, Super Sonic versus Perfect Chaos, and damn man, even Tails had his first love interest, Cosmo. No, not the green guy, we don't speak about the green guy. But it was just a solid Sonic show overall. I know it had its ups and downs, but you guys, you love the theme song, and it was crazy, man. I definitely need to come back and watch it again and see if it still holds up. But overall, my favorite Sonic show to date. For now, will there be another one to top it? Only time will tell. Sonic Boom, no CD. You see what I did there? Okay, that was bad, I'm sorry. Sonic Boom first aired on November 8th, 2014, and it ended on November 18th, 2017. So, basically running for a total of 3 years, the longest running Sonic show by far. Not bad. Sonic Boom took more of a comedic tone to its premises, being more funny than it was serious, but for what it was quite enjoyable. I love the jokes, the gags, the characters, and on top of that, they even add a new character to the series, sticksthebager, so that was pretty cool. The Sonic just follows Sonic and the squad, fighting Eggman, going on their own adventures, and exploring its characters. Shadow and Meta Sonic do make an appearance, which was pretty nice to see. No Chaos Emeralds though. Overall, a pretty fun Sonic show. Definitely loved it. I think I still like Sonic X better, but this definitely probably comes in second. I don't even know, man, unless I'm a Sonic fan. I love most of the shows, not all of them, but here we are. One of the episodes I do remember that I actually did like, not like I didn't like any of them, but this is one I just vividly remember, is when Eggman just comes over at like, I don't know, 3 in the morning, and he's like, oh, my lab got destroyed in the storm, I need a place to stay, and eventually, you know, Sonic lets him stay, but like the classic cliche, eventually he overwelcomes his stay, and then the team the team help him get back to his lab, and then it's got like security and defenses, and eventually they help him, and then his lab gets blown to smithereens. He comes back again and he's like, oh, please can I stay, because you know my lab got destroyed again. And then Sonic just says, oh hell no, drops him off, and then Amy comes to teach him about etiquette, and yeah. Aside from that, man, I really enjoyed Sonic Boom. I don't know, man, Sonic X is still looking pretty great, but it's still my favorite Sonic show. Only time will tell. On to the next one. Sonic Prime. But was he really in his prime? Sonic Prime aired on the 11th of January 2022, and its final season concluding on the 11th of January 2024, running for a total of 2 years. Not as long as Boom or X, but hey man, it ran for a total of 3 seasons, with the longest season of Sonic ever, so that's pretty cool. Sonic Prime originally aired on Netflix, so that was quite interesting. I thought more streaming services would have had it, but Netflix got the grab on that one. They got the jump on everybody. I love the idea of Sonic going into these different multiverses where he meets different variants of his friends, and interesting enough, he is the only variant of himself when he goes into the other dimensions. I love the dystopian version of Green Hill Zone with the rebel versions of Knuckles and Rouge, as well as the Chaos Console, but I really love the appearance, because instead of getting Metal Sonic, we got Rusty Rose, which was so freaking awesome to see, which means Amy was roboticized in this timeline. You know, Dr. Eggman actually went through with these plans and he wasn't slacking. I also really loved the boss cage maze, which is like an overgrown version of Green Hill Zone. Here we got to see the more primal, more jungle-listic, if that's even a word, versions of our characters. And hey man, I don't even know what to say right now, because Thorn Rose, when I saw her appearance of the first time, I just love the design, the personality. I love how she just flies at a giant flicky. Hey man, 16 years in the making and here we are, giant flickies. And like she was just in charge of the whole jungle, took charge, and she was the so-called monster. Ever since I've seen Thorn Rose like as a character and her design, I just loved it, man. She's just become my favorite Sonic character of all time. I need to come back and watch Sonic Prime again and see if I still feel the same way. And yes, I love Hypersonic. I like Sonic. He'll always be the boy number one. But I don't know. I just love her design. And I think I even have a wallpaper somewhere. But like, Thorn Rose is my all-time favorite Sonic character of all time. I don't know what the show did, man. Spoke to me. I love the design. I just love everything about Thorn Rose. I just can't explain it. And then the next dimension, it was alright. I mean, the pirate variants of themselves, or of Sonic's friends, I thought it was kind of boring. It felt like more of a filler universe, because, you know, there's Sonic's original universe, then there's the dystopian one, and then the jungle one, and those were all quite interesting, you know, like, with the dystopian one, they also made like they had tails, or they called them 9, which is a great reference, you know, nine tails. But the pirates, they weren't really that cool. They weren't interesting. I feel like a lot of shows have done this where there's different variants of the character, and one of them is always the pirates. I guess they were just trying to play it safe, because like with Sonic Prime going into a multiverse, like, for me personally, it was a very great opportunity to either introduce new Sonic characters or originals or something like that. I thought it would have been like a great time to introduce Sally and the Freedom Fighters or something like that, but I think they just wanted to play it safe. I'm not saying it had to happen this way. I just thought it would have been the perfect time to introduce Sonic characters, or at least have the Sonic characters in a different timeline or dystopia, or maybe Silver's future or something different. Because the pirate one, I'm like, yeah. And then, you know, because like it's the pirate version, they're on the sea, Sonic doesn't like water, but then his shoes kind of save him. But I think they just wanted to keep it simple and safe. Overall, it was a very awesome Sonic show. I definitely enjoyed it. And the ending though was a bit weird, because it left the show kind of open-ended, in a way that it kind of gave it the opportunity to come back with a full season or seasons if it wanted to. But it's been like 4 whole years, which is kind of crazy. Wait, 4 whole years? Wait a minute. Damn, it really has been 4 years. Oh my goodness. Yeah, it's been 4 years and it's 2026, and there hasn't really been an announcement of like a 4th season or a continuation, but the show just ended on a bit of a weird note. But I guess it can continue if it wants to continue in the future. So hopefully we do get another season or some more news in the future, because yeah, having that like in 2022, because we hadn't had like a mainline show in ages, was pretty fun to see, because like the Sonic channel had like all its animations and everything. But yeah, Sonic Prime, I enjoyed it. I still love the idea of him going into the multiverse. Pirate versions or variants aside, it was pretty cool. And yes, speaking of Hypersonic, we did get to see technically another super form, but we did get to see Prism Sonic, and that was pretty dope. So who knows, man, we might get a Hyper Prism Sonic, but who knows. Overall, fantastic Sonic show. I'm still liking Sonic X, but as I say, I need to come back and I need to watch all these again and confirm, do I still feel the same way, because nostalgia and memory can only work to such a degree. And yeah, that's it for the Sonic shows. Well, that was one of many of Sonic's cool TV shows. It's quite interesting to see how he has evolved throughout his time in animation and everything, and it was cool to see. Now, I did play the Sonic movie in the beginning, which was the animated one from 1991, so that is like kind of another video for another day. I'm specifically focusing on shows, and you've probably noticed that one prominent show is missing from this list, but that is gonna be a story for another day. I had a whole video planned, and this video, what I've done right now, was supposed to be like a 2 to 3 minute introduction before getting into a bigger video I've got planned for the future. and then it ended up becoming whatever this is, however long this video is gonna be. So I kind of split it into two, but I am excited for it. But thank you so much for watching. What was your favorite Sonic show, your favorite Sonic character of all time, whether it's from the books, movies, or comics? Do you recognize any of these shows? Were some of these new to you? You're gonna go check them out. And most importantly, what was your favorite Sonic Underground song? Mine was Sound of Freedom. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. Like, again, Sonic has had his ups and downs and everything, but he's come far. Box office, animation, books. I mean, he's 35 this year, man. I mean, I even had to go and buy the 35th anniversary calendar. Your boy had to. I'll probably put a picture on screen. It's looking amazing. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next Sonic video, man. Keep the chaos under control. You see what? That's kind of fire. I'm liking that. I'm what you call it? I'm trademarking that. Keep the chaos under control. And I'll see you in the next one, man. This was quite enjoyable. I never really thought I'd do like a video like this, but I definitely want to get into more Sonic content, given my avatar and everything. So I'd like to hopefully do more Sonic this year. So 2026, we're going in strong, and let's keep the chaos rocking, man, or under control. I will see you in the next one. Peace.